You could not ask for a more perfect day for baseball. Sunday afternoon is a rubber game of the series between the Angels and the pinstripers of the American League East, the New York Yankees, here on Family Sunday. Hi, everybody. We welcome you into the Big A on Angels Baseball on My 13. I'm Victor Rojas, along with my partner, Mark Gubza. Last night, of course, a tough loss for the Halos, a one-run defeat, but at the top of the order, or near the top of the order, Bobby Abreu starting to swing the bat a little bit with some more authority. On base 4 times, had a walk and 3 hits.
Boy, he had a great approach last night, Victor. He's had a lot of success in his career against the Yankees, a .306 career batting average, but last night in particular, CC Sabathia kept trying to go away, whether it be a fastball, whether it be a slider, and he stayed back long enough to be able to punch that ball into left field. And then even when A-Rod moved over in that hole, he hit it right down the left field line. So 3 base hits, a walk, and keep in mind he's had 2 career home runs against Bartolo Colon, so look for him to be able to continue that swing and drive the ball.
You mentioned Bartolo Colon, Cy Young Award winner for the Angels in 2005, left on the side of the road for dead after '09, but all of a sudden a resurgent surgery, and what great numbers so far to start the year.
Well, when you think about it, 62 strikeouts and 66 and 2/3 inning pitch, great fastball, doesn't walk anybody, will go up the ladder with that fastball, has been throwing a few more sliders. Change-ups have been very good. Above all, he throws a lot of strikes, but keep in mind now, 8 home runs he's given up this season. When he elevates that fastball, straightens up in the zone, it gets hit hard.
Bartolo's going up against Joel Pinheiro of the Angels. 5th try for career win number 100. Just about time for baseball, so sit back and relax. We'll have lineups at first pitch when we return. Beautiful shot of the beach down at Newport as we get you ready for this third and final game between the Yankees and the Angels. And we'll take a look at the Yankees lineup for Joe Girardi. Yankees in first place, a game ahead of the Boston Red Sox at the start of the day. Pretty much the same lineup they had out there the first two games. A couple of changes at the bottom. You've got the captain, Derek Jeter, at shortstop, Curtis Granderson at center, Mark Teixeira at first base, Alex Rodriguez, a cleanup hitter, at third, Robinson Cano at second, Nick Swisher in right field, Jorge Posada still the DH, Brett Gardner jumps up a spot, he's in left. And doing the catching this afternoon is Francisco Cervelli, taking on Yoel Pinheiro. And as I mentioned, fifth try for career victory number 100, a 2-2 record at 3.52 ERA.
One of the important things for Pinheiro is get back to that trust for that sinking fastball.
First pitch swinging, Derek Jeter. And that's how this game starts with a ground out. As we take a look at the defense behind Pinheiro, Kendrick Borges Hunter from left to right field in the outfield. In the infield, you've got Callaspo and Ibar on the left side, Isturis and Trumbo on the right. Hank Conger gets his first start of the series behind the plate.
And Hank Conger's done a nice job as far as calling the game. In his career with him behind the plate, the ERA for the pitchers, 2.93. He's thrown out nearly 20% of would-be base stealers. So very good as far as gamemanship behind the plate, calling a good game.
Pinheiro delivers a strike on Curtis Granderson. Granderson yesterday 1 for 3, hitting .273 on the year. 17 home runs, 41 driven home as he rolls over this one. And it's quickly no balls and 2 strikes. Pinheiro coming off a loss at Kansas City. 6 runs, 4 earned in his 6 innings. And of course, that goes back to the mistake that he made on what should have been an inning-ending double play, keeping the Angels up 2-0. Threw the ball away. The inning kind of blew up on him. And as it goes, he ended up taking the loss. 2 consecutive losses for Pinheiro, following 2 consecutive no decisions, which followed 2 consecutive victories. I see a pattern develop.
So he's due for a victory then today. There's no question.
Here's the 1-2. Swing and a miss. Down goes Granderson, 2 outs. That's the one thing we have not seen a whole lot of from Pinheiro. Not known to be a strikeout pitcher, but especially over the last 2-3 starts, elevating a lot of those sinkers and becoming very flat. That one had a good bite to him.
Oh, great bite to him. He stayed on top, was able to get on top of that, turn the wrist over to have great sink action away from Granderson, who's had a tough time staying back on some off-speed pitches or even taking something off the fastball.
Here's Mark Teixeira. Takes a strike. Teixeira 0 for 7 in this series. Went 0 for 4 yesterday. His average of .249. Still with 16 home runs and 38 driven home. Lines one toward left center field. And that's going to fall in for a hit. Howie will play it on 2 hops. So a 2-out knock keeps the inning alive for Alex Rodriguez. Alex with that game-winning home run last night against Irvin Santana. A 2-run shot, his 10th of the year. And that snapped a 1-1 tie in the 6th inning. That was his one and only hit. Now with 33 runs batted in. We've mentioned this throughout the weekend, but the Yankees average-wise toward the bottom in the American League. A .250 average collectively. But these guys, you give them the opportunity, will hit the long ball. They will score some runs. They're first in home runs, first in runs scored, first in slugging, second in on-base percentage.
And A-Rod's a guy that likes to get his hands extended, so Pinheiro's going to try to stay inside consistently on him.
Just missed inside, and it's 1 ball, 1 strike.
Lived there all game. Remember that game he had against him last year, his first start against the Yankees in Yankee Stadium? He struck out A-Rod, 3 times in that game with that fastball in that exact location. A-Rod has had troubles against him. There's 135 in his career against Pinheiro.
Breaking pitch, caught the inside corner. And it is 1-2. Don't have to worry about Teixeira. Short little lead for him over at first base, so Pinheiro getting an opportunity here with 2 outs in the first inning to just concentrate on Alex. Just got a piece of that one. The count remains at 1 ball, 2 strikes.
Been good so far with Pinheiro. He's established not only his sinking fastball, he's thrown a split finger fastball, and of course a slider so far in this game, which at times he doesn't start utilizing until mid part of the game. He does do that well, but you want to establish that early on against a team like the Yankees. Shook off a fastball inside, go to the slider.
And he got him to hit a fly ball to right. Torrey comes in, makes the catch. The inning comes to an end. No runs to hit. The Yankees leave a man on. We head to the bottom of the first with no score. Angels baseball is brought to you by Jack in the Box. Right now at Jack in the Box, get the new Bourbon Barbecue Steak Grilled Sandwich at participating restaurants. Bottom of the first with no score. Let's take a look at Mike Scioscia's lineup for this afternoon's contest. The Angels at 30-30 are in third place in the American League West, 3.5 games back at the start of the day. Meister Asturis leading things off at second base. Eric Ibar is the shortstop. Bobby Abreu the DH. Torrey Hunter the cleanup hitter in right field. Alberto Callaspo at third. Howie Kendrick in left. Mark Trumbo at first. Hank Conger getting that start behind the plate. He'll bat eighth. And Peter Borges batting ninth and playing center field. Taking on the 38-year-old from Puerto Plata, the Dominican Republic, the former Halo himself, Bartolo Colon. The first pitch is in for a strike.
Bart has that fastball back, 89 to 95 range on the fastball. His slider's been solid. Changeup also a strike thrower. 4-to-1 ratio as far as walks to strikeouts for him.
That pitch just below the knees, and it's 1-1 strike. Meister Asturis yesterday went 1 for 5 on an RBI hit in the ninth inning last night. A .281 average, 3 home runs, 15 driven home, and there's a strike on the outside corner. It's quickly 1 ball, 2 strikes. This one looped foul into the seats on the third base side, so the count remains at 1-2. Bartolo coming off a complete game against the Oakland Athletics back on the 30th of May. 6 strikeouts, no walks, allowing just 4 hits. His season high pitches thrown has been 103. That was that last start. He's also done it one other time. As Asturis goes down swinging, there's out number 1. Defensively for the Yankees, you've got Gardner in left, Granderson in center, Swisher in right. In the infield, it's Rodriguez, Jeter, Cano, and Teixeira from third to first, and Cervelli doing the catching.
We talked about Granderson in center field playing a very shallow center field, but has that ability to go back on the baseball very well, whether he's going to his left or right. A couple outfield assists so far this year, and of course 1 error so far. It's really cut down on that. Remember there in Detroit, he had a tough time reading the baseball by playing so shallow, missing some routine fly balls, but has made an adjustment as a Yankee.
There's Eric Ibar. Swinging at the first pitch, fouls it back. Eric was last out last night. A 1-pitch save for Mariano Rivera in the ninth inning. Ended up going 0 for 5 in the ball game. His average at .305. 3 home runs and 20 runs batted in. The Angels, as far as their splits are concerned, pretty much as close as down to the middle as possible, as this one's fouled back. And I'm talking about versus left-handed pitching versus right-handed pitching. 258 from the left side, 256 from the right. The home batting average starting to creep upwards. Remember, at the start of the year, the Angels were hitting well over 300 out on the road at just under 200 here at home, but starting to level out as it typically does. Colon ahead of the count at no balls, 2 strikes. Ibar fouls it off the left.
William Bartolo Colon already establishing the fact he's going to throw a lot of stuff away so far. Fastball, anywhere between 92 and 96 away. Does have the ability to pitch inside, but most times you're going to see Bartolo Colon try to sink that fastball away with good velocity.
Sixteenth start of his career against the Angels. 7-5 mark, a 3.92 ERA. Back in the big leagues since the first time since 2009 when he was with the Chicago White Sox, released in September of 09. Actually had pretty decent numbers for Chicago in 09. Ibar goes down swinging, 2 outs, back-to-back punch outs for Bartolo.
He's thrown 7 straight strikes. Good late life on that fastball. Relatively straight fastball for Bartolo Colon, but he does have that ability to go up the ladder with that fastball at times.
So with 2 outs and nobody on, here's Bobby Abreu, the DH. Mentioned Bobby had that 3-for-3 game, raising his average up to 286. A couple of home runs, 25 runs batted in. A-Rod playing in on the grass at third base. Bobby doesn't do a whole lot of bunting, but just trying to guard against it just in case. Now drops back at third. And again, another strike for Bartolo Colon. 9 of his first 10 pitches have been strikes. That'll even the count. Calling the balls and strikes this afternoon, the veteran Bill Welke. Tim Cheetah's over at first. Mike Estabrook is over at second base, and it's John Timpani taking over for Marty Foster at third base. 2 balls and a strike. Remember last night, Foster took a foul ball off the mask. Perhaps a residual effect not seeing him here this afternoon. That's why Timpani is over at third base today.
He got hit pretty square with that foul ball straight back in the mask last night. Be able to stay through that game and did a nice job behind the plate. Boy, Bart, last time out, you mentioned that complete game shutout, 103 pitches, 71 strikes.
2-1, ground ball to second. Cano has it. Bartolo Colon has himself a 1-2-3 inning. One of the books here at the Big A. We have no score. Top of the second inning, it's our pleasure to welcome in former left-handed starter of the Angels as well as the New York Yankees. So this is probably tugging at your heart. Jim Abbott kind enough to join us. See, you come back here throughout the ceremonial first pitch. You got the team that you came up with, and all of a sudden you got the team that you threw a no-hitter for.
It was pretty special. I'm real thankful to the Angel organization for setting this up. They asked me when I wanted to do it, and they talked about the Yankee series, and it was nice. I saw a few old friends in the Yankee dugout and a lot of friends in the Angel dugout. So very cool.
It's just like Gooby. You play both sides of the coin, and make sure that.
Well, Gooby was the mayor, man. He knew everybody everywhere. So nobody can be like Gooby.
No. I saw even the guys. Oh, look at that pitch there too, Abby.
That's my daughter. My daughter Ella caught it. That was it wasn't a sentimental pick. It was strategy. I just lob it in there.
It was perfect.
Mark Langston told me how slippery that ball was, so I had to be careful.
Robinson Cano pulling one toward the corner. And it's going to be an extra base hit to start this second inning.
Yeah, we saw a lot of guys in the Yankees dugout waving at you over. That still has to be an incredibly special feeling to be able to throw a no-hitter, and of course throwing that wearing that Yankee uniform at that time.
Yeah, there was, it was a special day. It was a special day. It's you pitch a no-hitter and kind of comes out of the blue. All of a sudden you're looking up in the fifth inning, Yankee Stadium, and they don't have any hits. And, I'll always have that connection with the organization, and I'll share that memory. And Gene Monahan, Stevie Donahue, the trainers over there, were there when I was there, and I gave a wave to them. And they were a big part of that day, and it was nice to see them.
And, of course, everything in New York gets blown up because of the history of that franchise, doing it because hollowed territory there, that beautiful stadium that no longer exists.
It was special to play there. I have to say, I agree with you. I don't know if you pitch a no-hitter anywhere else in the major leagues would so many people connect with it and sort of remember it. But I go back to New York City and people remember the date. I mean, it was a great day, and it's a great organization, and I'm really happy to have that connection.
Well, you obviously had a ton of success wearing that Angel uniform also. How special was it to be able to come back here and throw out this first pitch and get that type of applause that you got? I mean, everyone was up on their feet saying, way to go, Abby, again.
Well, it was really special. It's really kind of touching. The Anaheim fans treated me so wonderfully from the second that I made it to the major leagues. Throughout my career, I had some great moments here, and I had some pretty tough moments, and they supported me every out of the way, and I'll never forget how well they treated me.
Is it for you, the no-hitter? Is that the pinnacle of your career, or is it getting to the big leagues? I mean, is there one particular moment that stands out for you that you said, all right, at least I've got this to go back to for the rest of my life?
Well, I think there's a lot of moments you look back on. I was proud to get my very first win here at Anaheim Stadium. I kind of got off to a slow start. I came directly to the major leagues from playing the Olympic team, and I didn't know if I'd belong. I lost my first couple games, kind of struggling finding my way, and then we beat the Baltimore Orioles, and I'll never forget calling my parents home back in East Coast time and saying, hey, I won a ball game in the big leagues, and I cherish that as much as anything, to tell you the truth.
Yeah, you mentioned Langston's name about the first pitch and stuff, but you also talk a lot about Chuck Finley, how much he's meant to you as a teammate. I mean, explain that to you, because he's a guy we talked a number of times ourselves about. He was a warrior out there in the mountain, and of course in that dugout.
Hey, Finn Man was incredibly generous to me in my career. He invited me to live with them my rookie year, so that was an experience in itself. But he taught me a lot of things. But, I came up on a team with not only Finn Man, but Bert Blylev and Kirk McCaskill, Mike Witt, consummate professionals, guys who, I mean, they pounded out in every single way, and they taught you how to prepare physically and mentally and how to go about your business. And Finn was right there at the top of that. They called him the chief for a reason. And he was a great teammate, probably one of the greatest starting pitcher leaders that I ever played with.
You had a chance to be around a lot of guys, especially today's game. It's a different game nowadays. I mean, you mentioned a boatload of veteran guys that taught you how to play the game. The game seems to have changed or gotten away from that. It's more, dare I say, more individualized than anything else. You don't hear about Kangaroo Court anymore. You don't hear about guys just hanging out in the clubhouse. But you're probably one of the last breeds, you and Gooby, that time frame, the time you guys played, that passing along of great baseball knowledge is no longer really done a whole lot.
I hear that. I haven't witnessed that myself personally, but if that's true, that's a shame, because that is what you 10 years after you're removed from the game, those are the things you remember. You remember the cut of the grass, you remember the mound, but you remember Kangaroo Court. And I remember those Kansas City Royal teams that used to blow through here, you guys, and they had one of the tightest knit groups around, and it's rare, and it's powerful, and it's rare, and of all the things we missed, that's what we missed, right?
Exactly. I mean, now you've been invited down to spring training a number of times when you get to talk to not only the guys at the major league level, but at the minor league level. What do you try to explain and tell your experiences, not only as far as being successful, but to stay at that major league level and be successful?
Well, I love that opportunity. I love to witness Mike Scioscia and his staff and the way he works, and I feel like I learn as much from them as I'm able to pass on. But the biggest battle for me in my career, I think, if I look back, was believing in myself, believing in the talent, pitch to pitch, out to out, throughout an entire game, believing that I had the stuff to get guys out. And I think that's what major league players have to do. You just have to remember what it is that got you there, what it is you've been preparing to do, and attack it aggressively, attack the strike zone, attack the catcher's mitt. And that's what I try to pass on to young players. When you get here, don't forget what got you here, and carry on that belief, that same confidence that you had in college, that you had in the minor leagues, because that's how you build a solid year, a solid career, just by believing in who you are and what you can do.
And that's why I think it's so important when you have a veteran around, when you had that opportunity with Blyleven or Chuck Finley and all those guys, Mike Witt, Mark Langston, to be able to talk to you about that, because you do have doubts, especially as a young pitcher. And like a guy like Tyler Chatwood, a guy that sits there, you see him watching Jerry Weaver and Dan Herron go about their business each and every day. You learn so much from those guys because they can tell you, because you see them out there competing yourself.
Absolutely. And it's a big battle. You get up against a Jorge Posada, or you get up against a Alex Rodriguez. You start thinking about all these great things they've accomplished, all the great things they can do. You may not remember, but George Brett wore me out. I couldn't get George Brett out because I thought about George Brett instead of thinking about what I was able to do.
Yeah, I remember talking to him about facing you, and he think, I had success against him, but I don't know why. He would say that. I have no idea why, other than the fact that, you had that great cut fastball, you were able to throw a slider fastball, but he had no idea why he had success. But believe me, I mean, he's a guy that had a lot of success against a lot of people, but for some reason against you, he had no idea how he got the hit. So don't feel bad. A number of people got some hits against.
Yeah, he was pretty. I know why. I couldn't throw the ball. Well, with him, you had to change speeds. If I threw that outside fastball on the outside part of the plate, he'd hit the left field. If I got it in on him, and that's all I could do when I was a young pitcher, is kind of pitch. I couldn't change speeds well enough, and he was able to cover both sides of the plate as well as anybody I ever faced, and that's why he had the success he did off of me.
All right, the other day we had Mike Witt here talking about your golf game. I had a chance to play in the group just behind you last year down at Pelican Hill, and you could strike the ball. And he says now you're like a +1? You're stealing money from everybody now?
No, Witter's
I'm not quoting him. I'm kind of paraphrasing.
Witter's costing me money. I'm mad at him for that. he can play rings around my game, but I enjoy playing with those guys. One of the great things living here in the area is you've had a few of them throw the first pitches, Donnie Hill and Mark Langston, Witter, all those guys. They get a kind of a constant game, and we play. And I'm actually one of the higher handicaps, but they let me join in. And we went on one trip. I played pretty well, and now I'll never hear the end of it.
That's still got to be a great feeling to be able to still get out with the guys like that. That's the thing, the beauty of this game and being in that clubhouse, and of course, be on the team buses and planes. You end up to get that closest with your players, and even when you're done, you still manage to find time to play golf together.
That's true, Gooby. I love playing with those guys. Some of the stories are getting a bit old. We've heard each other's stories about 6 different times.
Keep recycling.
Do they change at all?
No, they never change. The only thing that gets changed is that people's statistics get better.
Of course.
Hey, we all end up throwing harder at this particular point in our lifetime.
Pinheiro trying to work out of a little bit of a jam here. Gardner at 2 balls and a strike. This one grounded under the glove of Trumbull. Couldn't handle it. That'll score a run. And Gardner ends up at second with an RBI double. And the Yankees take a 1-0 lead. Those are the heartbreakers. Broken bat, roller right up the line.
Well, I think when you make a good pitch, you think, you're out of the inning. And again, Pinheiro's a guy that's been battling. This will be his 5th attempt to try to get win number 100. I mean, you've experienced that before where you try to get that one special win, but it's been tough for him.
Is it? I wasn't aware of it. Yeah, it is tough. You know, anything that takes you out of the moment, anything that takes you away from it, pitching is such an awareness. You know, you have to be just right there, concentrating on this pitch right now. All those cliches, but that's how it works.
Facing Francisco Cervelli now. Before we let you go, I got to ask you your desire at all to pass along. I mean, you get great knowledge, especially talking about believing in yourself. You know, nowadays, you still can mold youngsters down at the minor league level, at the collegiate level, at the minor league level. You saw Darren Erstad being named the head coach at the University of Nebraska. Is that kind of creeping your mind at all, trying to do something like that?
I just heard that yesterday. That was great. Erstad will be that. Those kids are in for a real treat. That's going to be something. I would guarantee you that team's going to play baseball the right way. But you know, I enjoy sharing some of the things that I was able to learn from great pitching coaches like Marcel Latchman, and you know, pass on those kinds of things. And I try to pick my spot. I do some speaking around the country, and you know, I try to encourage people to believe in what's possible. I feel like that's kind of my niche right now, because of the way I played and growing up with one hand, growing up differently. You know, there's a little bit of a story to tell. You know, and it wasn't always great. It wasn't always perfect. But I really, truly believe that if you can believe in who you are and what you can do, and be creative and optimistic, you know, amazing things can happen. Amazing things are possible in this world.
Oh, it's great getting a chance to see you and talk with you once again. Thanks for stopping by.
Always
a pleasure.
It's great to see you.
Jim Abbott, kind enough to join us here. The Yankees strike first. They lead at 1-0 as we head to the bottom of the second. Well, the Halos down by a run here in the bottom of the second inning. Bartolo Colon had a 1-2-3 first, including a couple of strikeouts. The Angels sent up Hunter Cayaspo Kendrick against Bartolo, trying to get that run back. A couple of doubles, a walk, and a strikeout for Pinheiro in the second. Torrey hitting .235 with 8 home runs, 31 driven home. And Bartolo, as he's done so far this afternoon, throwing a strike. It is 0-1. Torrey went 0 for 4 yesterday. Evens the count at 1 ball, 1 strike, went flying into the seats in right field on that home run by Robinson Cano yesterday. Hit a fan, accidentally, of course, because that's what you do when you fly into the seats. This one's fouled back, and it's 1 ball, 2 strikes.
Is that a Yankee fan he ran into also?
I believe so. The guy was a little bit chappy. What are you going to do? You almost caught the baseball, though.
He almost did. Well, even though it's early in the game, Bartolo Colon very comfortable on the mound. I think at some point, somebody in this lineup for the Angels is going to have to make him uncomfortable, make him feel his position, make him get off the mound and feel the bunt.
2 balls, 2 strikes now.
And a full count. Mentioned Bartolo last pitch in the big leagues in 09 prior to this year. 3-6 and a 4.19 ERA with the White Sox at 12 starts before that release in September. 3-2 is rolled up the line towards third. Alex with the transfer throws out Torrey. There's out number one. Fans, be sure to vote your favorite Angels to the 2011 All-Star Game in Phoenix, Arizona this summer. Voting now open and available at Angels.com. Don't miss your opportunity to vote for your favorite Halo. So 4 up and 4 down, retired by Bartolo. Brings up Alberto Callaspo. Colon last summer opted to have they call it regeneration surgery. It's been talked about quite a bit since his fast start here in the big leagues. Did some reading up on it. And basically, the nuts and bolts of it is that they took some fat from Bartolo. They took some of his bone marrow. They spin it down to stem cells. They take those stem cells. They have the surgery on the shoulder. Pump that back in there. So you're basically using your own cells of your other parts of your body. It kind of regenerates itself, and that's why he's back to where he is right now.
Well, I'll tell you what, if that's available for a number of pitchers and players itself, I'm sure that's going to be something everyone's going to explore if it's something that baseball is going to be allowed to happen.
The biggest question that came out of it, Dr. Joseph Purita, along with some doctors down in the Dominican, performed the surgery as Purita. Callaspo goes down swinging for round number 2, but Purita has done the surgery in the past using HGH, or human growth hormone. That was not the case, or has not been the case with Bartolo. At least that's what's been stated, and Major League Baseball has said as such. But you know what? I mean, if this guy is proof positive that you can go from being nowhere, your arm basically dangling by your side, you're unable to get any velocity whatsoever, to come back and throw 93-94. This one under the glove of Colon, but Jeter is there. And Howie is retired for round number 3. More and more guys will start using. 6 up and 6 down, 2 in the books. Yankees up 1-0. Colon's been perfect so far, including 3 strikeouts. He's got a 1-0 lead as we start this 3rd inning. Top of the order, Derek Jeter, Curtis Granderson, Mycer Thuris. Jeter swung at the first pitch of the ball game from Pinheiro and grounded out to short, so he is 0 for 1. Had 1 hit yesterday, now with 2,985 career hits. Jeter now 2 hits shy of tying Sam Rice, 28th all-time. He's got a 1-ball, no strike count. It's a pretty good average, 194 hits.
It's still pretty amazing, though, the all-time leader as far as hits wearing that Yankee uniform. You think of all the greats that put on that uniform.
Yep, and there's one of them. 29-86, a leadoff single to right. Brings up Curtis Granderson. Jeter now with 194 career hits against the Angels. That's the most hits against any team that's not in the American League East.
And that's that patent inside-out swing. Able to go the other way with that fastball.
Granderson a strikeout victim in the first, so he's 0 for 1. Callaspo playing in at third. A strike on the outside corner. Yankees with 4 hits already against Pinheiro. They had one in the first, 2 in the second, and now, of course, lead off base hit by Jeter. Ground ball to short. Ibar will flip to Asturis to relay on to first in time. A double play. Second turn by the Angels.
Well, that was some kind of smooth turn by Ibar and Asturis. Most times you think with Granderson running, you're not going to be able to get a double play, but a good feed by Ibar and a good transfer out of the glove, the throwing arm by Asturis, able to turn that double play.
I don't think that ball was hit sharply enough to be able to turn a double play with Granderson. It didn't seem like there was any sense of urgency from Ibar Asturis.
But that was just super quick as far as the transfer by Asturis. And great flip, too, as far as the height for Ibar to Asturis to be able to turn that double play.
Teixeira foul tipping that pitch, so it's no balls and a strike. Mark had a base hit to left field with 2 outs in the first. His first hit of the series. Hits one high and deep to right field. Torrey's going back, and that one is going to be gone. A 2-0 Yankee lead. A hanging breaking ball from Pinheiro. Teixeira has his 17th home run of the season.
3rd home of his career against Pinheiro. And we talked about how the baseball carries a lot better during the day here at the Big A than it would be at night. Boy, down and in. Low ball hitter with that uppercut swing for Teixeira. And we talked about going up the ladder against him. He doesn't get that fastball up quite as well.
No balls and a strike on Alex, who had a fly ball to right to end the first inning.
Boy, Pinheiro has had a tougher time with lefties this year. Coming in the game, .324 batting average with that sinker. He's going to have to throw that cut fastball eventually on the inside part of the plate against some lefties to keep him honest on that ball away.
There's a 1-ball, 2-strike count now.
The 5 hits allowed today, 4 have been hit by left-handed batters so far against him. Jeter with the only right-hander.
Yeah, last 3 starts too. 9 hits, 11 hits, 11 hits. So the hits have been mounting against Pinheiro. Two-two. This one's fouled back, just above our heads. The count remains at 2 balls, 2 strikes. A run in the second inning for New York. An RBI double under the glove of Mark Trumbull by Brett Gardner. And Teixeira with a 2-out solo home run here in the third. Off his ankle.
That's that 2-seam fastball running down and in. Very successful pitch against Alex Rodriguez by Pinheiro. Got to go right back in that same spot. Right off that guard, the shin guard he has there to protect him from that exact type of swing.
Surprised more guys don't use those type of shin guards, especially with a sinker baller on the mound.
He did go right back in there, almost got him again.
And a full count now.
Thankfully, the Ibar and Source combination was able to turn that double play. All of a sudden, you have a bigger lead in the way Bartolo Colon has thrown earlier in this game here to make sure you keep it close.
He walked him, got ahead, and after the home run to Teixeira, walked to Alex Rodriguez, puts a man on, still 2 outs. And Robinson Cano coming to the plate. Cano got that double in the second inning, came around to score the Yankees' first run. He's his 12th double of the year. Pinheiro has thrown some strikes today. 48 pitches, 31 of them have been strikes, but a couple of deep counts. He's now issued 2 walks to go with the 2 strikeouts as Cano swings at the first pitch and pops it up on the infield. Trumbo will put it away on the grass. That'll end the 3rd inning. But the Yankees double up on the Angels. Solo home run by Mark Teixeira. New York's on top 2-0. Off here for the Halos in the 3rd inning. Colon has faced 6 batters. He's retired all 6. 3 via the strikeout, 3 via the ground ball. And Trumbo hammers one to straightaway center field. Granderson going back, pulls up, gone! Big fly for Mark Trumbo. A solo job, his 11th of the year. Just like that, the perfecto is no more. 2-1 Yankees.
Boy, sound and distance. Talked about the fact that Bartolo Colon has given up 8 home runs, and Mark Trumbo, a guy that can hit that fastball, especially when it's elevated. We're talking about a shot that got out in a hurry to dead center field. Big AB for Trumbo. They get the club going right now. 11th of the season.
29th run batted in. Here's Hank Conger. Looks at a strike on the outside corner.
Fastball up. Sound. Well, that's way out there. His 4th home run in his last 10 games for Mark Trumbo. It's big people area out there to dead center field over the trees.
Oh, no doubt. And obviously Mark's still learning at the major league level, but at some point you'd think, even with Vernon coming back, that Mike Scioscia perhaps entertains the thought of moving Mark up in the order. As Hank takes inside, it's 1 ball, 2 strikes now.
I would definitely think Mike Scioscia has to be thinking in those terms, because the fact is, even when he's fallen behind an account of late, he's had a good fight in the batter's box as far as fighting off some pitches, hitting the ball in the right field for a single.
Conger lifts one out to deep right center field. This one struck well, and this one's off the base of the wall. Conger all the way to second. It is a stand-up double. 6th of the season.
What a great swing here by Hank Conger, too. This time the fastball inner half. Cervelli wanted that pitch in the outside corner. Bard is doing a couple pitches inside, and now has been able to get that inside enough. Well, back-to-back shots, extra base hits against Bartolo Colon.
First 2 hits of the game for the Angels. Here's Peter Borges. Rodriguez at third, Teixeira at first, both playing in. The fastball is just down low. Peter went 1 for 4 last night. A .243 average, 3 home runs, 13 runs batted in. Top of the order, Meister Asturis on deck.
And if you're Borges, if you're going to bunt here, you want to make sure A-Rod fields his bunt.
Two balls and no strikes on Peter. Glancing down at Dino. Very little breeze here at the Big A today. But as always the case, a warmer day. The ball will fly out. A little more carry than usual. Borges gets jammed, rolls one up the first base line. That's going to be an infield base hit.
Well, we said we want Bart to field his position.
Yeah.
He didn't want to field it himself.
That almost looked like miscommunication between Colon and Cervelli.
Well, that's a play a pitcher has to make, though. It's a tough play for a catcher. He's got to run all the way out there and then have to, on the run, make that throw to first base with a guy with that type of speed.
Runners at the corners now. Still nobody out. Here's Asturis. Meister strikeout victim in the first, so he's 0 for 1. Swings and hammers one to right field. It hangs up for Swisher. Makes the catch. Tagging from third is Conger, and he scores. We're tied at 2. A sacrifice fly for Meister Asturis, picking up his 16th run batted in. Ties this game up here in the third.
And Dino Ebel's going to be aggressive as far as testing the arms of the Yankee outfielders. Conger read that very well. Didn't drift out. Didn't assume that ball was going to fall in front of Swisher. Stayed back towards the base. Was able to utilize the bag as that push start to be able to score on a throw by Swisher into the plate. Swisher had to field that ball low because it had a little top spin to it. And then the throw was high. Able to go in there and tie the game up.
So Borges still at first base, 1 out. Eric Ibar stepping to the plate now. Also a strikeout victim in the first. A quick throw over there, and Borges gets the hand back in there.
Cervelli is throwing out a little over 14% of would-be base stealers. Bart has only allowed 1 stolen base against him and 1 caught. Very quick to the plate. His times to the plate are about 1.15 to 1.2, which is above average as far as speed to the plate.
Peter with 7 stolen bases, having been caught 4 times.
I think it makes it also difficult to steal against Bartolo Colon. He does a lot of high fastballs, which makes it easier for a catcher to get that transfer out. Not a lot of off-speed pitches.
Ibar, a little tapper foul. That's no balls and a strike. Eric's trying to chase a little bit those high fastballs.
Hit a lot of fly balls last night. Hit him well, but Mike Scioscia and Mickey Hatcher want him to hit the ball on the line.
All 5.
more so ground ball line drives. Fly ball's not part of his game, although he has been able to drive the ball out of the ballpark a few times this year with 3 home runs. More of a line drive hitter.
Go back inside. You're doing great.
No balls, 2 strikes. The ball had a pretty good run on it from Cologne. The Halos with 3 straight hits and then a sacrifice fly to tie things up. Mark Trumbo got it started with his 11th home run of the year. Double by Conger. Infield single by Borges. The sac fly by Sturis. 0-2. Out back.
There you go. Keep fighting.
Gardner and Granderson, as we've said, both in Friday and Saturday's games, played shallow the opposite way against Ibar. Swisher's deep and right. Playing Eric toward the alley at right center field. And Borges still trying to get his timing over at first base against Cologne.
And a lot of times when it's 0-2, you think it's a base stealer that more than likely a pitcher's going to throw a breaking pitch, a changeup, split finger fastball. But Cologne is throwing a ton of fastballs. So it's difficult to be able to pick the right pitch to go on, especially when you're that quick to the plate.
Taking a little too much time, so Ibar backs out. Down and in. Nice job by Cervelli. Russell Martin getting the afternoon off. Played the first 2 games of the series. Day game after night game, usually reserved for the backup catcher. And Russell's been scuffling on the road trip for New York. They head back home after today's game. Road trip that had New York going from Seattle to Oakland to here. Unlike the Four Corners approach that we'll be taking on the next road trip.
Yeah, Mike Scioscia's pretty happy about that one also. From here to Seattle, Seattle to New York, New York to Florida, Florida back to play the Dodgers in LA.
That makes sense.
Yeah, there's no doubt about it.
From a scheduling standpoint to book it like that.
Yeah.
That's what interleague play will do to you.
Dean Smith would be happy.
Oh, yeah. Slow everything down.
Pass the ball around the perimeter to 4 corners. Borges may be going on this pitch right here.
Outside, full count now. Ibar's done a nice job working the count to full after getting behind at no balls, 2 strikes. Bobby's on deck. More than likely going now at the 3-2 pitch. Borges goes a 3-2, a little bouncer back to Cologne. 2 outs. Brings up Bobby Abreu, and we'll take a look at our Verizon leaders. Abreu steps up with 2 outs and a man in scoring position. 4th in the American League with 39 walks and a .399 on base percentage. 1,380 career walks. 3rd among active players.
Always patient at the plate. But there is times during the course of the game where Abreu would think in lines with a pitcher and jump on that first pitch fastball. And Bartolo Colon, who's thrown a ton of fastballs, this might be the time where Bobby jumps on this one if it's in his spot where he can do some damage.
Bobby 0 for 1. He grounded out to Robinson Cano in the first inning. Borges over at second with 2 outs. Bart trying to paint that outside corner, and it's 1 ball, no strikes.
With that 95-mile-an-hour fastball, this in 09, Bartolo Colon was thrown anywhere between 87 and 91, topping out at 91, but living in the upper 80s. Much better fastball now.
Two balls, no strikes. Mark Trumbo getting the Angels on the board. A shot to dead central. 11th home run of the year, 29th run batted in. Halos tying things up here in the third with 2 runs. Looking for more. 2-0 pitch. Upstairs, 3 balls and no strikes.
It's as if they're kind of pitching around Bobby Abreu here with an open base at first, and Torrey Hunter, a right-handed batter, on deck.
Jim Thome, Chipper Jones, Bobby Abreu on the active list. Now they're going to intentionally walk Abreu, and they'll face Torrey Hunter. So another walk to that list for Abreu. Torrey comes up, having bounced out to Alex Rodriguez, leading off the second inning. He's 0 for 1. Bartolo, who was very economical through his first 2 innings, has thrown 20 pitches so far here in the third. Breaking ball is in there for a strike. I haven't seen too many of those.
Good location on that slider also.
Colon ahead of the count at 0 balls, 2 strikes. And again, even against right-handed batters, just pitching away. Hasn't really come inside at all with the fastball.
He's not going to try to sneak too many fastballs inside, especially against a right-handed batter, because he has that tailing action to run into the good part of the bat.
They want that pitch up. And it just missed. Great action on it. Fooled everybody. It's 1-2.
Well, that's that 2-seam fastball. You start off the outside corner to try to catch the corner to the end. Must have broke late around the plate.
Borges at second. Abreu over at first in the 1-2. Torrey takes inside. 2 balls, 2 strikes. So really thinking about throwing down a second, but did not cut in. Borges taking a couple extra steps towards third on the what he thought was going to be an attempt at a swing by Torrey. Bart all of a sudden has become very deliberate out on the mound.
It's a good sign if you're the Angels. That means he's not comfortable on the mound.
And now Cervelli wants to go out there. You saw a guy out there the first 6 batters that a little bounce in the step, 3 strikeouts, 3 ground ball outs.
A lot of fastballs, all located very well.
The 2-2, the runners go. The pitch is outside to throw down to third base, and Borges is safe. 8th stolen base for Peter Borges. Bobby Abreu picks one up as well, his 10th.
Pretty close play at third base. Borges able to get in there, and a couple guys in scoring position for Torrey Hunter again. Boy, Bobby was almost at second base before Borges got to third. He was anticipating going on that one. Just get that foot in there before the tag. We've seen a number of those tags by Yankee infielders on throws to the bases.
Full count here on Torrey with 2 outs, runners at second and third. Payoff pitch from Colon. Breaking ball. He's fouled back. Cervelli runs out of room. He's set and do it again.
And that was a spinning breaking ball. He got away with that when Torrey just jammed himself on that swing. I think Bartolo Colon's going to come back to that pitch now. More likely to try that two-seam fastball. Still has an open base off the outside corner to try to catch the corner. Torrey's going to have to try to stay back with his hands.
Another 3-2 on its way. Torrey chops one over the mound. Going to be a tough play for Cano with the bare hand. Throws the first, and Torrey's retired to end the inning. The Angels do tie things up. They get 2 runs on 3 hits, leave 2 on base. 3 in the books. We're knotted up at 2. Top of the 4th, tied at 2 here. Another great crowd on hand. 42,000 plus Friday, 43,000 plus yesterday. It should be in that range once again here this afternoon. Yankees getting solo runs in the 2nd and 3rd innings. And the Angels tying things up with 2 in the bottom of the 3rd. It'll be Swisher, Posada, and Gardner against Pinheiro. Joel with a couple of strikeouts, a couple of walks. Swisher swings first pitch, grounds one over to Ascaris. Just like that, 1 out.
Boy, big inning for Pinheiro and the Angels to be able to have that shutdown inning. Look at the team responds, ties the ball game up. Started off with Mark Trumbo's home run. Tie it up. You need to be able to throw up a 0 right away, get the offense going. Force Bartolo Colon not to get a chance to gather himself in that dugout.
Jorge Posada, the DH, steps up. 0 for 1. He grounded into a 3-6-3 double play in the 2nd inning. Nero missing down and in. It's 1 ball, no strikes. A lot of games for Jorge. 39 years of age now.
There were a lot of big hits throughout his career. Remember that one game against Pedro Martinez when they thought they were going to take him out of the ballgame? He had that jam shot base hit, able them to win that game against the Red Sox a few years back. Been there, been very good for a lot of years.
Down the left field line, slicing away from Howard. It falls in there for a hit. Howard kicks it into the wall, but Posada doesn't run well. The throw goes to second. Trumbo's backing up on the play, and they got Posada hung up. Posada thought because the ball was going to second and he saw both Usturis and Ibar in front of him, that ball was going to shoot into right field, but Mark Trumbo alertly backing up on the play. And it goes as a double for Posada. And then, of course, the put out going 7-3 to 5. The old conventional.
Great job by Trumbo. A lot of times the first baseman becomes a spectator in this type of play, but Trumbo right there to be in position, to be at second, cuts that ball off, and of course throw to Callaspo to get that big out. It's all about being involved in the play. Don't just sit there and watch back and let your teammates do the play. You be involved, and because of that, Trumbo was able to be a part of a big out.
Well, as you can tell, Howie Kendrick still learning how to play left field. Ball hit into the corner. You concede 2 bases, no question. That ball's got to go to third, and that's why you had the double trailers in Ibar and Usturis.
Yeah, you have to just let it go. There's no way you're going to be able to cut. Even if you do, it's going to be a double anyhow. If that ball gets around that corner, which we've seen a number of times happen over the years, talk about a triple at least.
Oh, and 2 the count on Brett Gardner. Gardner broke his bat, rolled one up the line and underneath the glove of Trumbo. In the second inning, picking up his 14th run batted in. That put the Yankees up 1-0 at that point. One and 2.
He's trailing right behind him on this play, Trumbo is, and as soon as Posada thinks that nobody's going to be there, Trumbo's there in that position. Not only field, that wasn't an easy throw to be able to pick. Also, as you see a guy running, because you're trying to be quick to make the throw to third. Solid play by Mark Trumbo.
2 balls, 2 strikes. And that's a rate, and we've talked a couple of times this year already. As far as base runners picking up their third base coach, that ball is in front of the base runner, so it's really the base runner's decision. At that point, he made what he thought was the right read with the throw going behind him, but not anticipating Trumbo being right there behind him as well. As Gardner lifts a fly ball to right. Torrey going back into his right. Will put it away. And Pinero ends up facing the minimum 3. If we head to the bottom of the 4th inning, this game still tied at 2. Angels baseball is brought to you by Verizon 4G LTE. Rule the air on the most advanced 4G network in the world. We're tied at 2 here at the bottom of the 4th. It's a good look right there.
California dreaming.
Newport Beach, California. Alberto Callaspo to lead things off here against Bartolo Colon. Callaspo, Kendrick, Trumbo. Scheduled 3 guys. Fastball misses away. Alberto was a strikeout victim in the second, so he's 0 for 1. One of 3 punch-outs for Colon. He's issued 1 walk. That was an intentional walk to Bobby Abreu with 2 outs in the third. 2-0 now. Part, of course, the American League Cy Young Award winner 2005 for the Angels. A 21-8 record. 2-1 down. 3.48 ERA. It's amazing, too, considering in his first year with the Angels had an ERA over 5. Cy Young Award winner in 05, then 06, ERA back up to 6. Osman pulling off that baseball, and it's 2 balls, 2 strikes.
Again, when you look at his fastball, relatively straight fastball. If he doesn't locate it well, it could be hit. And that's what you saw those 2 of the 3 years with the Halos, struggled with the command.
Count remains at 2 balls, 2 strikes.
Those 2 types of fastball, the 2-seam fastball, you see those at 90-91 with that movement, especially when he tries to throw on the outside part of the plate, and then the 4-seam fastball, which is elevated at times.
There's that elevated one.
Sit on top of that one. That's why he gets in trouble and gives up the long ball. Now 9 home runs on the season, because if you live up there, if you get up above the letters, you're going to get a lot of outs and pop-ups and swings and misses. But when you bring it down around belt level and it's a straight 4-seam fastball, even if it's 93, 94, it's going to be hit hard.
Foul ball looked like it took out a fan in the front row.
Seems like an even bigger crowd here today.
Yeah. Why wouldn't you want to be out here?
Exactly.
Full count, trying to get that 2-seamer. Mentioned last night the Angels second in the American League in average attendance, 38,000 plus. The Yankees tops. Payoff pitch. Fastball pulls one to the right side to Sher to the backhand. 1 out. Mentioned Bartolo, that Cy Young season in 2005. A career record with the Angels, 46-33 and a 4.66 ERA. 2-time All-Star.
Well, it doesn't get much of a follow-through, more of it when he lands straight over that leg. A very good fastball, 1 of 2 Cy Young Award winners wearing that Angel uniform. We saw our good buddy last night, Dean Chance, coming up to our booth, and of course Bartolo Colon in 05.
Here's Howie Kendrick. Bounced out to short. Takes a fastball for a strike. It's great getting a chance to talk to Dean last night. Did you take that bib?
No, I was going to say thank you for the bib. I appreciate that.
Oh, 1 pitch. Back up the middle. Looky, looky what I found. See, kids, this is how you feel the ground ball while not looking at the ground ball.
Just throw the glove down just in case the baseball hits it.
2 outs.
Ball's hit well, too, by Howie right up the middle. look the other way. Textbook. That's how they teach that in spring training. Fastball comes right back at him. Turn the other way. Yes, no problem.
Don't hit me in the face.
And then gather yourself. Yeah. Plenty of time. No panic.
Here's Trumbo with 2 outs, nobody on. Takes a fastball down low. 1 ball, no strikes. Mark with a home run in the 3rd inning. 11th of the year. 29 runs batted in. 7-game hitting streak. Pops this one up to shallow right center. Colon got in his kitchen. It's a 1-2-3 inning for Bart. 4 in the books here at the Big A. We are still tied at 2. Yankees had a 2-0 lead heading into the bottom of the third, and the Angels tied things up. Pinheiro faced a minimum 3, but they give up a double to Jorge Posada. Posada being put out, trying to advance to third base. So 6 hits for the Yankees in this ball game through the first 4 innings. And here in the 5th, they'll send 9, 1, and 2 to the plate. Francisco Cervelli, Derek Jeter, and Curtis Granderson. Francisco getting his 9th start of the year behind the dish. 0 for 1. He was a strikeout victim in his second. Talking about the crowd last inning and this homestand. 6 more games on the homestand after today. Tampa Bay Rays in town for the first of 3 tomorrow. Off day on Thursday. Then the Kansas City Royals rolling into town for the first of 3 on Friday. Tomorrow, it's supposed to be David Price against Tyler Chatwood. Tuesday, Alex Cobb for the Rays. We think it's going to be Dan Herron.
And Dan Herron threw the ball very well today. Not only a long toss, but a bullpen session.
Which will bounce up the line foul, 1-2. And then on Wednesday, James Shields against Jared Weaver. The Rays right now shutting out Seattle. Game at the top of the 3rd inning.
Oakland had a tough time up there at Fenway Park.
2-2 now. Oakland got beat by the Red Sox once again, 6-3. Texas shut out Cleveland. Back-to-back shutouts for the Rangers over the Tribe. I should say against the Tribe. Derek Holland got him yesterday. C.J. Wilson picked up the win today.
I can imagine that happened too often for Texas, back-to-back shutouts. They've been throwing the ball well of late.
Cervelli still with a 2-ball, 2-strike count. Pinheiro has thrown 63 pitches, 41 have been strikes. Still with 2 strikeouts, 2 walks. Make that 3 strikeouts and 2 walks. There's the first out of the 5th.
Boy, nasty slider. There's only one thing to say about My 13's comedy weeknights. They're legendary. Catch one of TV's funniest shows, How I Met Your Mother, weeknights at 7, right here on My 13. Just like you, Victor, legendary.
Just how Barney would have read it.
Oh, there's no question. My idol. Just don't call me Barney, though.
I kind of just did.
Yeah.
You're not a fan of the name Barney?
I love the name. Barney Fife.
Yeah. He was legendary.
Barney Miller.
Good call.
Barney the dinosaur, the purple one? Yes.
Barney Rubble. Barney, our groundskeeper.
The best.
Jeter with a 1-ball, 1-strike count. Derek had a base hit in the 3rd inning, a 1-for-2 game. This one grounded to short. 2 outs.
Boy, that fastball got right in on the kitchen. Derek Jeter, good movement on that fastball by Pinheiro.
Number 14, center fielder Curtis Anderson.
See how that ball just got all the way in on his hands. Bottom line is it's difficult for a hitter, even if you hit that ball, to get out of the batter's box because the ball jams you like that. It takes a while to get out of the box, even though it was slowly hit. Ibar is able to make that play look easy.
Granderson takes up and away. It's 1 ball, no strikes. A strikeout and a ground out for Pinheiro. to start this 5th inning. Granderson is 0 for 2 with a strikeout and a double play ball. That'll leave in the count. Just missed a little bit high with that breaking pitch. 2-1. The Halos in the bottom of the 5th inning have Conger, Borges, and Astures coming up. Hey, have you heard any more quotes from the Buster Posey collisions play lately?
Seems like there is something every single game, every night.
When did it happen? Like 2 weeks ago?
At least 2 weeks ago, wasn't it?
A week and a half ago. Breaking ball, missing high, full count.
I'm sure Mike Socha over to his years as a catcher would have loved the fact that if you did run into him.
Nobody was crying when Carlos Santana got run over in Boston last year. He was out for the rest of the year. He walked it. 2-out walk, not what you want to do with Teixeira coming to the plate.
Already had 2 pretty good at-bats against Pinheiro already.
Teixeira with a base at the left field in the 1st inning, hit a solo home run in the 3rd. Pinheiro has not had a clean 1-2-3 inning. I mentioned that minimum 3 batters in the 4th, but helped out by that base running mistake by Posada. And you got to be paying attention to Granderson over at first. 8 stolen bases on the season. He's been caught 3 times.
Yeah, very quick to the plate. Certainly give Hank Conger an opportunity to throw at Granderson if he tries to go. I would assume he's not going to try because Teixeira up, you have that slight hole, and the fact that between first and second, the ability to be able to try to swing the bat.
Teixeira launches another one to deep right field, and just like that, the Yankees are back on top. Again, that walk to Curtis Granderson with 2 outs, nobody on. Mark Teixeira, his 2nd home run of the game, a 3-hit game so far, 4-2 Yankees.
Well, we talked from the very get-go of this series against the Yankees. Yeah, they might not be hitting high for an average, but they hit the long ball, so you got to try to make sure you throw strikes and not give him a free pass. And that's what he did to Granderson. Next time up here for Teixeira, another pitch down into half of the plate and turns on it.
30th multi-homer game for Teixeira in his career. Now the team leader in home runs, surpassing Curtis Granderson, 17. No balls, 2 strikes on Alex.
Boy, that slight letdown on the focus when you get 2 outs and then that walk. All of a sudden, as a pitcher, you're always taught don't walk anybody. And all of a sudden, that negativity creeps into your mind. The guy coming up after the walk is a guy that's already hit a home run against you. All of a sudden, you're not thinking you can get him out, and you kind of aim a fastball, and Teixeira does it again.
Rodriguez goes down swinging, not only in the inning, but the Yankees back on top. Mark Teixeira's 2nd home run of the game. We head to the bottom of the 5th with the Yankees up 4-2. Halos down by the score of 4-2. Hank Conger to lead things off against Bartolo Colon, who had a 1-2-3 fourth inning. 8-9-1 due up for the Halos. Conger swings and hits one out to center field. Playable for Granderson. One out. Well, the Angels wives, along with the Anaheim Fire Department, held their Fill the Boot fundraiser, benefiting the Muscular Dystrophy Association of Orange as well as Riverside counties. The wives will be presenting a check to the Muscular Dystrophy Association on July the 7th, one of the number of community initiatives the Angels are involved with.
Thank you for that effort. Like it was very busy out there before the game.
Borges takes a strike. Peter had that infield single up the first base line. So he's 1 for 1. 1-1 now. Also picked up a stolen base. It was stranded there. So he's fouled off to the right. 1 ball, 2 strikes. Colon now has retired the last 5 in a row since giving up the intentional walk to Bobby Abreu. A very easy 4th inning. Everything stayed in the infield. Ground ball to Teixeira, ground ball back up the middle to Bart, and then the pop up to Cano.
I often wondered how Bartolo Colon was able to throw consistent strikes. He doesn't, at times, doesn't follow through. Kind of recoils when he throws the baseball. Most times when you do that, you're not going to be in the strike zone, but he certainly has been around the strike zone all year. 4-to-1 ratio as far as strikeouts to walks.
Borges takes a called strike 3. First strikeout for Colon since the second. His 4th overall. There are 2 outs.
A great location on this fastball. This time he got over the front leg much better with that good movement on that 2-seam fastball. Starts away, catches the corner.
That's one of those few times when he does throw that 2-seam fastball where he does not recoil. Almost gets out in front where you need to get that movement as Asturis hits one high and deep toward right center field. Swisher Granderson back at the wall off the top of the fence. Asturis in at second with a 2-out double. 16th double of the year for Meiser. Just missed a little more oomph, and he picks up a home run. It would have been his 4th, but he'll send off for the double.
Sometime when you got to come through with a base hit after that. Came with that 2-seam fastball once again, but this time it was up with not a lot of movement on it. Meiser crushed that ball, almost got it out of the yard.
Eric Ibar stepping to the plate now, 0 for 2. A strikeout and a bouncer back to Colon. It's 1 ball, no strikes. Ibar now 0 for his last 7. Actually goes back even further if you go to Friday night. 0 for his last 10. Had a first inning single in Friday night's game. Scored a run. Lines one over the head of Jeter, and that's in the left center. That'll score Asturis. That snaps that over, and it's a 4-3 Yankee lead. We haven't seen that happen too often. 2-out hit followed by a 2-out hit that scores a run. That's been one of the detriments of this Angels offense this year.
The entire year, that same thing. But that approach there by Eric Ibar, much better. Didn't think in lines of trying to drive the ball over the head of the outfielders. Just stay with the pitch and hit a line drive. Little fastball away, stay with it, good level swing. And so get a good result out of it, base hit and RBI.
21st RBI for Eric Ibar, who's at first. Might be looking to take off towards second base. Ibar, team leader in bags stolen, 14. He's been caught twice. Abreu 0 for 1. Ground ball to Cano in the first inning. An intentional walk and a stolen base in the third inning.
A different ballpark in a day game here at the Big A. First two games, both 3-2 scores. It's already 4-3 here in the fifth inning.
Ibar with a good lead at first. Bobby takes a strike to even the count. A-Rod off the line at third. Gardner, as always, shallow and left. A quick throw, and Eric easily back. Yankees with 4 runs, 7 hits, 3 left on. The Angels 3 runs, 5 hits, 2 men left on. 2 home runs for the Yankees, both coming off the bat of Mark Teixeira. The Angels have a home run. It was Mark Trumbo leading off the third. Two balls and 1 strike. And of all the guys that Colon has faced today, he's been most careful with Bobby Abreu. Even though he got Bobby to ground out to Cano in the first inning.
Trying to throw a lot of those two-seam fastballs on the inside part of the plate on Abreu, bring it out over on the corner. Those are the type of pitches, if you make a mistake, that's when you crush it. That second pitch he threw to Bobby, he took that pitch. That is an opportunity to crush that ball. Off speed here.
2-1. Bobby fouls it back.
He took something off the fastball. Another good pitch to drive, though, was elevated.
88 miles an hour. The count now at 2-2 on the former Yankee. Kind of surprised that Ibar has kind of dropped anchor over at first base.
This will be his 14th stolen bases on the season. Only been caught twice.
Another pretty good lead for him over there. The 2-2 inside. 3-2 count. So I guarantee you he's going to be going now with 2 outs.
Ball in the gap could score him now.
Fifth full count of the game for Bartolo. Torrey Hunter on deck. Ibar goes. 3-2 is down low. One with a breaking ball. I didn't think he would give in to Bobby, considering the previous at-bat that resulted in an intentional walk. Deep down, he hates having that tying run or potential tying run in scoring position, but I think Bart feels more comfortable facing Torrey Hunter in this situation.
And that happens during the course of the game. If you feel better as far as going after one hitter as compared to another, you're going to make that hitter that you have a tough time with swinging pitches out of the strike zone. If you walk him, so be it. One thing you notice about Bartolo Colon, he definitely slows down the pace with guys on base. You know, the full windup, he's real quick, but in stretch position, slows it down.
Torrey Hunter is 0 for 2. A couple of ground outs, 1 to third, 1 to second. Takes a fastball for a strike. Eric Ibar at second base and Bobby over at first. A-Rod deep at third. Outfield straight around against Torrey.
Pulling off that fastball away again. Torrey 0 for his last 14.
And behind
Maybe they're going to go with a fastball, same spot, or they might throw a slider here, started on the outside corner to break off that part of the plate.
Teixeira way off the line at first base, trying to take whatever base hit there would be on the right side. You see Cano near the bag at second. Here comes the 0-2. Torrey shoots one to right field, chasing Swisher over to his left. That'll end the inning. The Angels do get a run on a couple of hits, leave 2 stranded. 5 in the books. Yankees on top 4-3. Baseball is brought to you by Lincoln. Technology you've never seen before. Powerful, more efficient engines. It's not just luxury, it's smarter than that. Feel smarter at Lincoln.com.
That's why I got a navigator, because I'm smart now.
Gooby's logging on to Lincoln.com
yes,
right now.
That's why I'm smarter.
Attaboy, Barney. Here in the 6th inning. It'll be Cano, Swisher, and Posada. A 4-3 Yankee lead. Robinson Cano has a double and a pop-up and a run scores. He's 1 for 2. Takes a fastball for a strike. Pinheiro throwing his 79th pitch of the game, having given up 7 hits. He has struck out 4 but walked 3. A crucial one to Curtis Granderson in the 5th inning, setting up Teixeira's 2-run home run, his 2nd home run of the game. Pinheiro taking too much time, so Cano backs out. Didn't waste too much time. The 1-1. 1-2 now. Other scores, more specifically the American League East. Toronto beat Baltimore 7-4. Mentioned that Tampa Bay game. Now that game is tied at 3 against the Seattle Mariners up at Safeco. Top of the 4th inning, Boston defeating Oakland 6-3. Minnesota shut out Kansas City. Boy, Minnesota all of a sudden got on a hot streak against the Royals.
And how are they scoring? They don't have anybody in their lineup right now.
Sometimes you just figure it out.
Tell you what, they battle at the plate. There's no question about that. We saw that at Target Field for the Angel pitchers going against them. They battle each and every pitch.
Tigers and the White Sox in the 9th inning, 7-3 Tigers. The Tigers with a chance now to move, was it 2 games, 2.5 back? Cleveland losing. They'll be 2.5 back with a win today, as that pitch apparently just missed off the plate, and it's a full count. Nick Swisher on deck. Here's the payoff. Cano chops one over to second as Steers has it. One away. Fans, the Halos host the Tampa Bay Rays on Tuesday at 7:05. All fans in attendance will receive an Angels Newsboy hat courtesy of Fox Sports West. Make your plans to visit the Big A and purchase your tickets at the Angel Stadium ticket office or by logging on to angels.com. So one out, nobody on, and here comes Nick Swisher, the right fielder, who's walked and grounded out. 0 for 1. Strike Force members busting out the newsboy hats. A little soft liner over to Steers. Trouts. You see yourself wearing one of those newsboy hats? Think about that.
Yeah, I think so.
You're a guy that likes going to Starbucks quite a bit.
Yeah, especially in New York City. Being in Manhattan, walk around, that'd be pretty good.
Some black tube socks on and some scary topsiders shorts.
Especially wear it to Citi Field in New York when we take on the Mets.
Yeah, you won't get ragged there.
No, not at all. Perfect sunny day to wear that hat, too.
Oh, yeah. There's Jorge Posada with 2 outs. Nobody on. 1 for 2 game. Takes a breaking ball for a strike. Hisanori Takahashi's up and loosening. Pinero's just thrown 87 pitches. This one broken bat flare to left, and it's a 2-out knock to Posada. Second hit of the game for Jorge. They'll bring up Brett Gardner. And Pinheiro still without a clean 1-2-3 inning. Mike Scioscia talking with Mike Butcher down in the dugout.
And Pinheiro, guy, is a pitch to contact type pitcher. He's not going to have many of those unless he can get those ground balls hit. And some infielders, he's got to stay down in his zone, though, for him to be effective.
Brett Gardner's 1 for 2 with an RBI double, the fly ball to right. Takahashi is now down. Kevin Jefferson is up. Good off-speed pitch. Evens the count at 1 ball, 1 strike. Trumbo playing in front of Posada at first. Jorge's not going anywhere. One and 2. That hit by Posada, the 8th by the Yankees in this game. The Halos in the bottom of the 6th inning have Teoscar, Kendrick, and Trumbo due up against Bartolo Colon. Gardner chops one to the right side. Pinheiro did a great job coming off the mound. And Gardner's retired for the 3rd out. The Yankees, no runs and a hit, and they leave a man on, but they still have a 4-3 lead. 3, the rubber game of the series. Plenty of Yankee and Angel fans in the house. Have been all series long. Concourse packed. Just a perfect day for baseball. Not a cloud in the sky, at least right above us. That's all that matters.
Well, they were calling for rain overnight this morning. I'm just telling you what I heard, Victor.
Come on. Alberto Callaspo, Howie Kendrick, Mark Trumbo here against Bartolo. First pitch breaking ball is up and away. Did you log on to the wrong website again?
I was probably looking back east, Philly area. It said rain once again.
It's bookmarked?
Yes.
Alberto 0 for 2. Strikeout and ground down. Swings and hits one toward the corner in right field. And that's going to bounce over the fence, and it's a leadoff double for Alberto Callaspo. 11th double of the year, and the Angels have their leadoff man in scoring position.
4th extra base hit of the ball game for the Halos. 3 doubles and a home run. This time he's able to get his hands through that elevated fastball by Bartolo Colon. Callaspo did a nice job getting that leadoff double. Perfect guy up in this scenario with Howie Kendrick because he can go the other way so well.
Halos today 2 for 4 with men in scoring position. Howie trying to shoot one down the line. Shoots it foul instead. Dave Robertson is up and loosening now for New York. Their bullpen has been fantastic. 8-8 record of 2.84 ERA, but the last 18 games, Joe Girardi's bullpen has had an ERA of just over 1.5.
That was one part of their team. They thought they didn't have enough arms down in their bullpen. The guys are responding, throw the ball very well so far for them.
Howie fouling it back. No balls, 2 strikes. Kendrick 0 for 2. Ground ball to short, but comebacker that Bartolo snagged. Trying to sneak that 2-seamer on the outside corner, misses 1-2.
A great spot too for Bartolo Colon, but Howie did a nice job of not swinging at that pitch.
Swisher playing shallow and toward the foul line with Kendrick at the plate. Granderson toward the alley at right center. Trumbo on deck. The 1-2. Nope. He asked for help. He did not go. Conchita, the first base umpire, making the call. It's 2 balls, 2 strikes. .88 pitches. We mentioned that the season high for Bartolo has just been 103. He's done it twice, including his last start. Callaspo over at second base with a leadoff double. Oh, the breaking ball there. But if he hangs that, now he's able to pull it, can run for days with Gardner playing Howie the opposite way.
Well, he's so far up that left field line.
Yeah.
It's almost a backup slider. A dangerous pitch. Unbelievable if he hits that ball down the line. That's at least a double, if not a triple, stand-up triple for Howie.
Comebacker to Colon. Callaspo has to stay at second base, 1 out. Nice play by Bartolo. Howie unable to advance the runner. Here comes Trumbo with 1 out. And here comes Joe Girardi. That might be it for Colon.
Nice job, too, Bartolo Colon, of looking back. Callaspo at second. It gets by him. That's a base hit, and the game is tied.
So it's going to become a bullpen game now with 1 out here in the 6th inning. Joe Girardi yanking Colon. That's going to be it for him. Dave Robertson will be coming on. The Yankees have a 1-run lead here in the 6th. Bartolo departs. gives way to Robertson, who'll be facing Mark Trumbo when we return, and the Yankees up by a run. Three home runs in the ball game. Mark Teixeira has 2 of them. Mark Trumbo has 1. Joel Pinheiro, 6 innings, 8 hits, 4 earned runs. The Yankees scoring all 4 runs with 2 outs. Dave Robertson comes into the game now with 1 out here in the 6th inning. Bartolo Colon going just 5 1/3. Robertson did not pitch yesterday, but did pitch in Friday's game. Went 1 inning, struck out 2, and issued 1 intentional walk.
You see that 37 strikeouts in 22 1/3 innings pitched. Fastball 90-94. Curveball, changeup. His curveball is best pitch. Bartolo Colon, solid job. Now let's look down in that bullpen to get 11 outs. Preserve that lead for him.
Through 90 pitches this afternoon. Mark Trumbo stepping to the plate, 1 for 2 with that home run leading off the 3rd inning. He popped out in the 4th. Callaspo still at second. He had that leadoff double. His 11th of the year. Kendrick bouncing one back to Colon. That was the last pitch that Colon would throw. Robertson's first offering. Breaking ball, grounded to short. Callaspo going to 3rd, and Rodriguez will tag him out. 2 outs.
You can't run yourself out of the inning there with a guy in scoring position. That ball is right at the shortstop. Callaspo made that decision to go to 3rd, but Jeter's been around a long time and knows that play. Had plenty of time to make that throw to 3rd.
Rule of thumb, you never go if the ball's hit in front of you. That ball hit in front of you. Trumbo is on board now on the fielder's choice. And Hank Conger will step to the plate. Takes a fastball down low. Hank with a double and a run scored to the 3rd inning. Hit a fly ball to center in the 5th. Well, the Angels' struggles with men in scoring position just continue. Came in batting .230 in those circumstances. 2 for 6 now today. Trumbo takes off. The pitch is down low. The throw from Cervelli is not in time. A stolen base for Mark Trumbo. Pretty good catch and release by Cervelli. Trumbo got a pretty good start. His 6th bag of the year.
Derek Jeter catching that ball in front of the bag and going back with the sweep tag once again. That's a great transfer. Trumbo able to get his foot through and get on the bag. Fortunately enough, Derek Jeter didn't keep that tag on Trumbo because his foot came off the bag for a second.
2 balls, no strikes here on Conger. Hank that had that double was his 6th of the year. And he's way ahead of the count at 3-0. You got Borges on deck.
I think he's going to get the green light here if he gets a fastball.
Takes a strike, 3-1. Full count. Hank taking 2 fastballs right down the pipe after getting ahead at 3-0, and now susceptible to Robertson's breaking pitch. He's got a very good curveball.
That is his out pitch also. It doesn't matter if you're a left-handed batter or a right-handed batter.
A full count here with 2 outs. A Trumbo over at second. He walked him. Fastball down low. So 2 on, 2 outs now for Borges. Peter with an infield base hit in the 3rd inning. Struck out looking in the 5th. 1 for 2 game.
More likely you're going to see a curveball first pitch. Similar to what you saw Robertson throw to Trumbo, a curveball first pitch. If he gets a fastball, that's when you jump on it. Curveball, you let it go.
Goes fastball away, Robertson. Throwing that fastball just a tad. It's 1 ball, no strikes. Dave's always had a live arm. One ball, 1 strike.
Boy, just challenged him in the inner half and just got it by Peter Borges at 93.
Robertson pitching at 64 games last year for New York. 4-5 record, a 3.82 ERA. Did have a save. And a 1-1 pitch. Chasing one up around the letters. Instead of 2-1, it's 1-2. Not a bad idea if you're a pitcher. See a guy swing at 2 fastballs up there. See if you take another chance at it. Leaving the count at 2-2 now.
And Peter thought about going after that pitch. Very difficult pitch to catch up on. Robertson has the option of going back upstairs with that fastball, or now because of that plane of the fastball he threw, he can throw the curveball now. Or just has to shorten up his swing.
2-2. Outside, full count. Get the merry-go-round going now. A full count of 2 outs. Trumbo at second. Conger at first will be off at the pitch. Here's the payoff. Sliced foul. And that's a catch down there by a fan.
Stands with the fastball against Peter Borges. That one he missed inside. Then he elevated the fastball and a couple fastballs away. And his out pitch, the curveball. Does he feel comfortable enough to know that he could throw for a strike if Peter Borges takes that pitch?
Halos down by a run here at the bottom of the 6th inning. A little spin move, nothing's happening.
Don't think that would work when you have your shortstop running in and talking to you. Even though 3-2 with 2 outs you're going, you want to make sure you go home first before you start making that move towards third base if you're Mark Trumbo.
Another payoff pitch. Borges fouls it back just below us. So now Peter's seen a fastball at 3-2. He's also seen the curveball at 3-2. Trumbo and Conger getting their cardio work in. They'll take off once again. And he walked it. The bases are loaded for Meister Stewart. Back-to-back walks by Dave Robertson. And to be honest with you, Clinton hasn't quite spotted his fastball yet. It's got some life to it, but has not thrown consistent strikes with that fastball as of yet.
Yeah, he's pulling through on that pitch. He's kind of forcing it out there on the outer half of the plate. A lot of times when you see a pitcher go over that front leg and finishing off, he's pulling across his body, and that's why he hasn't been consistent going into the strike zone. I mean, he can strike people out, but now his 18th walk in 23 innings pitched. But he is at times erratic around the strike zone.
Larry Rothschild, the pitching coach, has to pay a visit. 15 pitches thrown by Dave Robertson, 7 strikes, 8 balls. The Halos now have Trumbo at third, Conger at second, and Borges over at first. Pretty good speed on the bases. Meister Stewart coming to the plate. Struck out in the first, had a sac fly in the third inning, doubled and scored in the fifth. That double coming off of Bartolo Colon and off the wall in right center. Outfield shallow once again for New York. That's down low, 1 ball, no strikes.
Keep in mind, 3 wild pitches for him. Also overthrows that fastball that you see there. At times could overthrow the curveball.
Yankees have left-hander Boone Logan up now. Rodriguez playing in at third and off the line. Here's the 1-0. 1 ball, 1 strike. Caught the outside corner apparently. Meister didn't seem to think so.
It's still a good idea unless it's a pitch you can hit well. Take it, especially when you have a guy struggling to find the strike zone. Don't help him out.
1-1. Breaking ball rolls this one foul, 1-2. The Halos against the Yankees in Friday's victory had the bases loaded twice. Left the bases loaded twice, scoring 1 run. Trying to avoid that here, at the very least tie this game up. The Angels have had 4 base runners in this inning. No runs have come across. One-two. The Stewart fouls it back.
Well, you can see where Cervelli wanted that pitch. Up and in, and that ball ran in the middle of the plate. That's still a dangerous pitch throwing it inside there with the bases loaded. Never a big fan of my catcher setting up right behind the batter. Because if you make a mistake, hit the batter, all of a sudden it's a tie ball game.
Long look in for Robertson. Stewart tired of waiting.
It seemed like he's not comfortable going with any particular pitch. That's when you're the Angels. You have to take advantage of this scenario now. Back-to-back walks. Loading the bases. You have a pitcher right now that doesn't have a lot of confidence in his ability to throw a strike. Even though he has above average stuff. Not comfortable on the mound.
Bases loaded with 2 outs. 1-2 to Esteuras. Upstairs, 2-2.
Boy, this is the pitch right now. If you're on the mound, 2-2, you still have some options. You can still throw your curveball. You can still throw your fastball. But after that, the stress level becomes that much higher.
2-2. Breaking pitch down and swinging. And the Angels leave them loaded. 6 in the books here at the Big A. Yankees still up 4-3. Top of the 7th inning, Yankees up by the score of 4-3. The Halos leaving them loaded again in the 6th inning. The Angels now in the season hitting .167 with the bases loaded. That is dead last in Major League Baseball. Pinheiro back out there, and he'll have 9-1-2. Cervelli, Jeter, Granderson. Hisanori Takahashi is back up and loosening for the Angels. Cervelli's 0 for 2. A couple of strikeouts. Pinheiro has struck out 4 and walked 3. Missing up high, had a long time to sit, hang out. Just threw his 92nd pitch. He falls behind quickly at 2 balls, no strikes.
Point if Pinheiro wants to stay in the game, he has to get Cervelli out here with Derek Jeter on deck, and of course Granderson, the lefty, hitting beyond Derek Jeter.
Two and one. Valley bouncing one over to third. Teospo's got it. 1 out. Nice job by Pinheiro, falling behind 2-0 to get that ground ball and retire the first man. Back to the top of the order now, Derek Jeter. Jeter 1 for 3. Had a base hit in the 3rd inning. Gets jammed and rolls it foul for strike 1. Oh, 1. Boy, really got in his kitchen there. Teospo.
Oh, man.
Retires in front of number 2.
That baseball had some move on it.
Kids, the Junior Angels Kids Club is looking for you for just $18. Members receive an exclusive Kids Club hat, an Angels Kookie pen, a Junior Angels lanyard, 2 ticket vouchers, a pass to be first in line for Kids Run the Bases, the chance to participate in the first ever Junior Angels Run the Show, and a chance to wash Gooby's car and more. Oh. No, I'm just kidding. Log on to angels.com/Junior Angels to sign up today. So many things, I figured might as well throw in a car wash.
That because, again, I thought it was going to rain, so I didn't wash my car.
2 outs for Curtis Granderson. Swings the first pitch and rolls it foul.
Pinheiro been throwing a lot of first pitch strikes. Faced 29 batters, 20 of them first pitch strike. Boy, that fastball he threw to Jeter. You talk about running fastball on his hands. 11 ground ball outs in the game for Pinheiro today. So any mistakes, basically, it's been to Mark Teixeira twice.
1 ball, 1 strike. Pitch number 100 for Pinheiro, and more than likely, regardless of what happens here, his last batter with Teixeira on deck. Takahashi ready to go in the pen. And it's 2 balls and a strike.
Well, and your mindset has to be, if you're Pinheiro, if you want to be in an opportunity to be able to get a win, you got to go hard fastball down and away, get a ground ball, finish it up.
This one pulled into right field, a base hit. Torrey racing over to cut it off. Does so. And that is going to be it for Pinheiro as Mike Scioscia bounces out of the dugout steps just like the 5th inning. 2 outs. Pinheiro unable to retire Granderson in the 5th inning. He ended up walking him here in the 7th inning, ends up giving up a 2-out base hit. So Pinheiro's afternoon is done. So Hisanori Takahashi will be coming on here, or so we believe, to spin Mark Teixeira around to hit from the right side. Yankees on top 4-3. Still in the seventh with 2 outs. Yankees have Curtis Granderson over at first base with Mark Teixeira coming to the plate. He'll bat from the right side against the left-hander Hisanori Takahashi, pitching in his 25th game. 101 mark of 4.84 earned run average.
A much better job his last 9 games. He had ERA just over 2. That's a good velocity in sync on the fastball away. Backed up with a pretty good changeup.
Tak hasn't pitched since Tuesday in Kansas City. Went 1 inning there. Allowed an unearned run. And he'll face Teixeira. Trying to get that third and final out of the top of the seventh. 6 2/3 for Pinheiro. 4 earned runs. 5th attempt at career win number 100. Teixeira's 3 for 3 with a single, 2 home runs, 3 runs batted in, a couple of runs scored.
Mike Scioscia, if Sheridan had that type of game against Pinheiro, he might have gave him a shot to be able to get through that inning. But when you have 2 home runs, 3 hits total in the game, there's no way you can allow him to try to get him out here because he's comfortable against you.
Strike on the outside corner. Teixeira is hit better average-wise from the right side. 284 this year compared to the 232 prior to today's start. Of course, that average going up from the left side with the 3 for 3 performance. But 13 of his 18 home runs coming from the left side. Granderson takes off. The pitch is down low. Granderson had a huge jump. Odd way to catch the baseball by Meister Steers. Almost handcuffed himself.
Going on first movement by Takahashi. Granderson successful, his 9th stolen base. Season is trying to look like Meister is trying to keep the ball in front of him from advancing into the outfield and allowing Granderson to get the third.
So Teixeira now with a 1-ball, 1-strike count. Granderson in scoring position. Pulled over to third. Callasco's got it. That'll end the inning. No runs a hit. The Yankees leave a man in scoring position. 7th inning stretch time here at the Big A with the Yankees still on top 4-3. Four to 3. I want to remind you that the Angels Freedom Plan is a great gift for Father's Day. It starts at just $50 and allows you to enjoy the Freedom of 10 ticket vouchers to use however you choose at select home games. Use your vouchers at 10 separate games or use all 10 at once. Buy your plan today at angels.com/mini-plans or by calling 888-796-HALO. Dave Robertson back out there. Great crowd on hand once again this afternoon. Unfortunately, the Angels have to battle back here. Got a couple of innings before Mariano Rivera comes into the game. They had Robertson on the ropes, struggling with his control. Ended up loading the bases up before he got Meister Sturz. The swing and miss on a 2-2 curveball.
You have to be patient against Robertson. He's the guy to try to expand his zone. We mentioned the amount of walks he's had this year. Very good swing and miss type stuff. To take advantage when he makes his mistakes.
Well, here in the 7th, the Angels have Ibar, Abreu, and Torrey Hunter scheduled to come up against the right-hander. The Halos needing a victory today to just remain at 3.5 back of the Texas Rangers, who shut out the Cleveland Indians once again today. Back-to-back shutouts for Texas over the Indians. But if you're not taking care of your own business, it doesn't matter what anybody else is doing within your division.
Well, the bottom line is so many opportunities this season with the bases loaded. And not only score one, but to score multiple runs. Distance yourself from a very dangerous club like the Yankees. You want to get that lead and to keep expanding on it, especially when you're presented an opportunity to get that done.
Here's Eric Ibar. A-Rod playing in on the grass, and Eric takes outside.
And if you're Eric Ibar right here, you can see a guy still having a tough time commanding the fastball in the outside corner. Make him throw you a strike. You need a base runner. With that type of speed that Ibar has, create all kinds of opportunities to score.
Ibar chasing a pitch up and away, and it's 1 ball, 1 strike. Scott Downs begins to loosen in the pen. Ibar dropping a bunt foul on the third base side, 1-2. Jabba Chamberlain is up for New York. Two balls, 2 strikes. Cervelli holding it there. Pretty good pitch.
May have gone around the plate at the end.
Bill Welke not making the call, so the count is at 2 balls, 2 strikes. Bobby Abreu on deck. He's been on base twice via the walk. A tap of foul off of Ibar. Rolls out to Jeter. The Yankees with 4 runs on 9 hits. The Angels 3 runs on 6 hits. Again, the long ball prevalent in this one for the Yankees. Ibar rolls this one to the right side. Cano to his left has it. 1 out. Joe Girardi's coming out apparently to make a move. Going to go to Jabba Chamberlain. Apparently, Jabba a much better right-hander than Robertson against Abreu, I guess. So pitching change with 1 out here in the 7th. Yankees up by the score 4-3. Back out here at the Big A, 1 out in the bottom of the 7th inning. The Halos down by a run. Bobby Abreu to face Java Chamberlain, who takes over for Dave Robertson. 27 games now for Chamberlain. In his first 26, he's 2-0 with a 3 ERA. Career high 73 games last year and a 4.40 ERA. Not much of a sample size between Chamberlain and Robertson. We were kind of joking around that you exchanging one right-hander for another to face Bobby Abreu. Bobby 1 for 1 in his career against Robertson with a home run, 1 for 6 against Java Chamberlain.
Yeah, I mean, obviously, you wouldn't think it'd be that much of a difference, but when you look at Joe Girardi, he's a guy that you see him during the course of the game reading charts consistently and goes with that feel for it. Chamberlain would still with that good fastball, 92, 96, curveball, his slider, his best pitch, and changeup. But a guy that can be erratic himself, although he's been around the strike zone pretty consistent this year, only 6 walks in 27 innings pitched.
Bobby 0 for 1, a ground out in the first inning. Intentionally walked to the third, drew a walk to the 5th. Takes a fastball on the inside corner for a strike. Breaking pitch down and in. And leaving a count of 1 ball, 1 strike. Torrey Hunter's on deck. Robertson ends up going 1 inning, striking out 1, walking 2, and allowing no runs. Worked out of a bases loaded jam that he created himself in the 6th inning. The 1-1. 1-2. That one bounced down in front of the plate. Chamberlain perhaps maybe even stumbled after delivering that pitch on the mound.
Yeah, over the course of the game coming out of the bullpen, you're going to have that different landing area. When you have 4 different pitches that have already pitched in the game, not everyone's going to have that same spot you land in. So you create a hole in the mound, and it looked like he tripped as he landed, tried to follow through.
Count even now, 2-2. Full count. Payoff pitch. Bobby rolls it to the right side. Cano dives, and from his knees, not going to be able to have a play. Once he went down on his keister, unable to get rid of the baseball there. And Bobby has himself an infield single.
Another break maybe for the Angels here. Gets to the ball, but unable to get back up as he slides across in that outfield grass.
Unless you see wincing there, unless as he planted that throwing hand on the grass, maybe jammed the wrist. That's why decided not to make a throw over to first base.
At that point, makes no sense to. Yeah. You can throw that ball away, go into the dugout, and all of a sudden Bobby's at second base.
So he's at first now. Here's Torrey Hunter with 1 out. Torrey gets jabbed and pops it up. Robinson Cano battling the sun, makes the catch, 2 outs. Torrey 0 for 4. Abreu still at first, and here's Alberto Callaspo, who doubled his last time up. That came against Bartolo Colon, shooting one down into the right field corner, but making a base running blunder, trying to advance the third on a ground ball to short, was put out for the 2nd out. Abreu has 9 stolen bases on the year. He's been caught twice. Bobby's 2nd on the team in stolen bases.
Might be worth taking a shot. Get in scoring position. Callaspo more of a line drive hitter. Does have 3 home runs in the season, but not known for his power. So getting in scoring position, all of a sudden that base hit ties the game up.
Pitch out, nothing's happening. 1 ball, no strikes.
Again, good base stealers will read that. When you do something different, Chamberlain had his slide step there, quicker to the plate than hold the ball. All of a sudden, the base stealer will read that and not go.
Two balls and no strikes. Chamberlain trying to get that outside corner. Two and one. Kevin Jepson has joined Scott Downs in the bullpen, so double barrel action.
A-Rod leading off the inning, a right-handed batter. More likely Jets will face him.
Bobby takes off. The 2-1 is bounced foul. Abreu had the perfect pitch to run on, a slow breaking ball. But Alberto pulling the trigger on it, rolls it foul, so Abreu has to head back to first. It's now a 2-2 count.
Well, that's one of those pitches, too, is a hitter. You know he's going. You can hear somebody saying he's going. It's not going to be a strike. You're better off letting that ball go. Even if it is a strike, you're still comfortable enough with 2 strikes to be able to put the ball in play and tie the game up with a base hit, because Bobby had a tremendous jump.
Line to center field, a base hit. Abreu will advance to second. Pretty good 2-strike approach there, just kind of flipping it out there. The Halos with runners at first and second at 2 outs, and Howie Kinzer coming up now.
Yes, but so good as far as keeping his hands back and through the baseball. Just trying to put the ball in play with 2 strikes on him. Gets a base hit. Now the guy that's had a lot of success against the Yankees throughout his career, and Howie Kendrick up in this spot to be able to tie the game up with a base hit.
Howie's 0 for 3. 1 ground down, 2 comebackers to the mound. Breaking pitch in the dirt. Nice job by Cervelli to smother that ball.
We just had that feeling that Chamberlain was going to throw a slider first pitch to Howie. Howie throughout his career has hurt the Yankees with the fastball.
One-0. Another slider. 1-1. Again, the Yankees defensively in the outfield, playing Howie the opposite way. Fastball missing high, 2-1. Pretty good career numbers against the Yankees. But still looking for that first hit. He's coming off a DL last night. 2-1. Rolls this one foul. 2-2.
Another breaking pitch. And how he has that ability to hit that ball to right field, the right center field on that pitch. And just getting his timing back from being on the disabled list. And hitting the breaking pitch is probably the most difficult one.
Abreu at second, Callaspo at first. The 2-2 in the dirt. So a full count now. Bray Caspel will be off at the pitch. Trumbo on deck. Here comes the payoff. Howie rolls it up the line, foul. That breaking pitch had more of a little bit of a hump to it. Not that tight slider that we've seen earlier in the at-bat.
One of those sliders where a pitcher tries to make sure he throws that for a strike in case the hitter takes it. But if you committed to throwing a slider, you have to throw your best slider there, and Howie just missed it, and that went hard for a hit.
Abreu reaching on an infield hit. Torrey Hunter popped out for the second out, and Teoscar with 2 strikes. Flipped a base hit to center field. That's how the Angels have runners at first and second. With 2 outs here in the 7th, down by a run. Runners will be off at the pitch, and another 3-2. Now he fouls it off to the right, going fastball away that time.
Much easier pitch to protect on because you've been away with your slider the whole time, and it's a good approach for Howie. Even though that fastball had some pop on it at 94. Well, you just hope he doesn't throw that fastball inside. That's a difficult pitch to be able to fight off if you're Howie.
Swing and a miss on a breaking pitch. It would have been ball 4. And the Angels leave 2 more men left on base. 7 in the books. Yankees still up 4-3. By the score of 4-3, Kevin Jeff's hit has come on now, and he'll take over for Hisanori Takahashi. Went 1/3 of an inning, getting Mark Teixeira to ground out to end the 7th. Jeffers pitching in his 14th game. 10 innings, 17 hits, 10 earned runs. That's why the ERA is up there. That 1-2 record. He's going to face Rodriguez, Cano, and Swisher here in the 8th, assuming Mike Scioscia wants him to go through this 8th inning. Scott Downs was up and loosening as well. But nobody's up now. Alex Rodriguez this afternoon, 0 for 2, a fly to right, a walk, and a strikeout. Jepson hasn't pitched since Monday's game, Memorial Day. At 1 1/3, gave up a hit in Kansas City. Good slider there. Leaves the count at 1 ball, 1 strike.
He's trying to shorten up his stride to the plate for Kevin Jepson, enable him to get better feel for all his pitches. In particular, that cut fastball right there that he threw to A-Rod.
This one over to short, backs up Ibar. He's out number 1. Hey folks, Saturday Pop Sensation Tile Cruise will kick off the post-game summer concert series presented by SRS Labs in association with Budweiser. Purchase your tickets today at the Angel Stadium ticket office or by logging on to angels.com/concerts. Kansas City Royals in town next weekend. Here's Robinson Cano with 1 out, nobody on. Showing bunt, takes a fastball for his strike. Cayasso playing deep at third base. If he stays there, we'll be surprised if Cano ends up taking it. 1 for 3 with a double. Led off the second inning against Pinheiro with a double and scored the first run of this game. Late on that fastball, and it's 0-2.
What a good fastball at 95 for Kevin Jepson.
Oh-2 on its way. Swing and a miss. Down goes Cano. 2 outs.
Elevated the fastball. Hank Conger wanted that pitch up and out of the strike zone, and Jepson delivered it as Cano swings through that pitch. Good game plan there.
Nick Swisher to play with 2 outs, nobody on. Swisher's walked, grounded out, lined out. 0 for 2 game. Yankees with 9 hits, the Angels with 8. Swisher takes a strike. Oh, 1 pitch. Fouled back. No balls, 2 strikes. There's no question velocity's there. Better command so far for Kevin Jepson. We saw that at Kansas City on Monday. He's trying to keep that.
He's shortened up that stride because he's able to keep that, try to keep that front shoulder in long enough where he doesn't dip it and he can go up and elevate a pitch. Unless he's trying to do so.
Bouncing that breaking pitch out in front of the plate. So it's 1 ball, 2 strikes. The Angels in the bottom of the 8th inning have Trumbo, Conger, and Borges due up against Java Chamberlain. Lays off that one, 2-2. More than likely, if they're trailing, going to see Mariano Rivera in the 9th getting that far as a full count now. Mariano recording the 1-pitch save last night, getting Eric Ibar to pop up to end the game. His 15th save of the year. Jepson trying to finish off the first 1-2-3 inning of the afternoon for Angels pitching. Otherwise, Posada will be coming to the plate. Swisher hammering one high and deep down the right field line. And it's off the fair ball. It's a 2-run deficit, 5-3 Yankees.
What a huge run given up by Kevin Jepson. Going to try to keep it at 1 run. Plenty of option when it's a one-run game. It's clear to a 2-run game now. You're taking away potential of a sacrifice bunt if Mark Trumbo gets on the base there. So head 0-2. Swisher fights all the way back to a 3-2 count. It looked like it was a cut fastball. No doubt about that one. It was just a matter of if it's going to be fair or foul.
Swisher hits his 5th home run of the year, picks up his 24th run batted in. They're picking up some debris that's come out of the warning track down in right field. And Posada will bat with 2 outs. Nobody on. Posada 2 hits, 2 for 3. Double and a single. Raising his average to 179. This one back to short. Ibar had him positioned perfectly. That'll end the inning. But the Yankees do get another run as we head to the bottom of the 8th inning. Pinstripers lead at 5-3. I remind you to subscribe to MLB.tv today to see every Angels game live or on demand on your computer as well as your favorite devices. MLB.tv Premium lets you enjoy HD quality home and away coverage, multi-game view, as well as the ability to pause and rewind live games. Visit Angels.com to order. Get more details. MLB.tv Baseball everywhere. Jabba Chamberlain back out there, and he'll have a new right fielder. Chris Dickerson takes over for Nick Swisher. It'll be Trumbo, Conger, Borges here in the 8th inning. Now down by 2 runs. That's kind of a big deal for the Angels. Offensively, they've struggled to put up multiple runs in an inning. First pitch of Trumbo's down and away.
And what it allows you to do as a pitcher when you have a 2-run lead as compared to 1 run, you can be more aggressive in the strike zone. That one swing can't tie the game up.
1 ball, 1 strike. The reason I bring that up is that the 564 innings in which the Angels have batted this season, they've had 59 innings in which they've scored 2 or more runs. So only 59 of 564, the Angels have scored 2 or more runs in an inning. Trumbo chopping this one over to third. A-Rod has it. 1 out. That's not to say that they haven't had the opportunity to have more innings in which they've scored multiple runs, but they've been few and far between this year.
Especially when you have your opponent on the ropes with the bases loaded. That inability to get that big hit there with the bases loaded would definitely score at least 2 a majority of the time.
Trumbo with that ground out, now 1 for 4 with that home run in the third. Conger 1 for 2. Had a double with a run scored in the third inning, a fly ball to center in the fifth, and a walk, and was stranded in the sixth inning. That's when the Angels left the bases loaded. Matter of fact, the Halos have stranded 7 men over the last 3 innings alone. 2 balls and no strikes. Boone Logan, the left-hander, Luis Ayala, the right-hander for New York. It's 3 balls and no strikes. Borges on deck. Asturias to follow if we get that far.
Definitely have to be taken if you're Hank Conger here. 3-0 count, down by 2. That's the difference between being down 2 and 1.
3-1. And he walked him. 1 out walk puts a man on here for Peter Borges. Second walk picked up by Conger. The first issued by Chamberlain, who struck out Howie Kendrick to end the 7th inning, with the Angels having runners at first and second and in motion on a 3-2 count, 2 outs. Peter 1 for 2, an infield single in the third. Struck out looking in the fifth, drew a walk in the sixth. A-Rod playing in on the grass at third base, guarding the line. That's 1 ball, no strikes. Chamberlain now had thrown 29 pitches. Larry Rothschild's going to come out again and pay a visit. Of those 29, 15 have strikes, 14 balls.
He's having a tough time finishing off that fastball. Again, you're in the spot right now, especially late in the game, and you're asked to get those last couple outs before you hand the ball over to your closer. You want to make sure you're attacking the strike zone with that 94-mile-an-hour fastball. When you try to aim it, you're not going to be able to throw for a strike. And you've taken away your ability to be able to throw your slider because you're behind in the count.
Borges back in the box with a 1 ball, no strike count. Conger over at first. The slider misses down and away, 2-0. Quick throw over. Conger's not going anywhere, at least not right now. No stolen bases on the year. 2-0. Borges pulling that one foul. Got a fastball that was up just out in front of it. 2-1.
Borges likes that fastball up. Will be aggressive, especially on the inner half. 2-0 count, fastball count. You got to let it go like that. And he did. He pulled a foul.
In the dirt, Hank stays at first. And a 3 ball, 1 strike count with Meiser on deck.
Boy, odd pitch. 2-1 slider. I know Peter Borges has some power, but you might want to think about throwing a strike with the fastball here. Now all of a sudden, if you miss on this spot, you put the potential tying run at second base and a very fast runner in that, Peter Borges.
Full count now. There comes the 3-2. Borges fouls it off the left. Boone Logan no longer loosening in the bullpen. Mariano Rivera has actually joined Luis Ayala. Chamberlain slowing things down here. Here comes another 3-2. Borges bounces one toward the middle. Jeter takes it himself. And an ending double play. No runs, no hits. Nobody left on. 8 in the books. Yankees still up 5-3. Two. Mike Scioscia turning the ball over to Trevor Bell here in the 9th inning. They'll be facing 8, 9, and 1. Trevor takes over for Kevin Jepson, who gave up a 2-out, 3-2 count home run to Nick Swisher to make it a 2-run deficit. Trevor now pitching in his 9th game, 1-1 mark at 3.21 ERA. He'll be facing Gardner, Cervelli, and then Jeter at the top of the order.
Again, same thing with asked that of Kevin Jepson, trying to keep the game close here. Trevor Bell is going to attack with that fastball. Very good fastball at times. Get that 92 to 94. Good swing and miss curveball, slider, changeup.
$43,524 in the house this afternoon. 7th sellout for the Angels this year. But in jeopardy of dropping the first 2 of 3 on this 9-game homestand. Trevor trying to keep it a 2-run deficit. See what the top of the order can do for the Angels with Mariano Rivera coming on at the bottom of the ninth as expected. Assuming, of course, it's still a save opportunity. Trevor getting that job done. Brett Gardner leading things off 1 for 3. An RBI double in the second. He's hit a fly ball to right. And a comebacker to the mound. Little dribbler up the first base line. Bell lets it go, and it's a base hit. I mean, at that point, if you're going that fast after it, more times than not, as we've talked about, the ball is going to stay in fair territory here on the lines.
And that's one of those plays, too, especially with a runner going down the line like that. You might want to think about throwing a hit in the back. It might be interference there going down the line, but he did stay within the line for Gardner going down there. There's no way the baseball ever rolls foul at that point. And there's no doubt that Gardner will be going here. Cervelli's up there bunting right away, but Gardner, good speed, 10 stolen bases on the season. Has been caught 6 times. Design play to see if Cervelli would start going into bunt position. Looked like he was bringing his hand up on the bat. Looks like the sacrifice is in order.
Cervelli is 0 for 3. A couple of strikeouts and a ground out. Trevor trying to keep Gardner as close to the bag as possible over at first. Cervelli apparently ready to surrender his at-bat, trying to sacrifice him in a scoring position. And again, another throw over.
And what you do want to do right now if you're a pitcher, you want to try to elevate a fastball, preferably inside corner, get him to pop it up.
Gardner takes off. Cervelli swings through it. The throw down from Conger is in time. A one-hop throw. Nice job by Eric Ibar, sitting right there on the bag, picking up the one-hopper. And there's the first down of the inning.
Well, Ibar's been fantastic as far as applying that tag, even if it's a low throw on a would-be base stealer this season. Hit and run. Elevated the fastball. One-hop throw by Conger. Quick tag. Gardner couldn't get that hand in there with the foot there blocking the bag. Bobby Grich was very good, former Angel, very good as far as blocking that base. And a clear path to be able to tag it, be safe.
No question, one of the best at doing that at second base. Saw it in Minneapolis on the pickoff attempt that Saturday game that Weaver was on the mound.
With that foot right there blocking it, no clear path for Gardner to be able to get to that base. And there's nothing illegal about that. As a base stealer, if you go in feet first, it might be a different story.
Well, that's the alternative for a base runner that gets a little bit chapped that someone's blocking the bag. As you go in feet first, and you take aim at that lower leg.
Seventh time this season, Gardner's been thrown out trying to steal a base. And it more than likely a hit and run, obviously, on that play, but still thrown out.
So 2 outs for Jeter now. Derek 1 for 4, had a base hit in the third inning. Trying to bunt his way on. No balls and a strike. No balls, 2 strikes now. Trevor trying to get the Angels back to the dugout for the bottom of the 9th inning. Sturis, Ibar, Abreu at the top of the order. Face Mariano Rivera. Jeter takes down low, 1-2. All 5 of the Yankees' runs this afternoon have come with 2 outs. Three home runs hit, totaling 4 of the 5 runs. Now a 2-ball, 2-strike count to share with 2 home runs. Swisher with the one in the 8th inning off Jepson to make it a 2-run deficit. Trumbo hit one leading off the 3rd. Angels tallying 2 runs in that inning to tie the score at that point at 2 apiece. This one shot foul, and it's still 2 balls, 2 strikes. Pinheiro today went 6 2/3. Takahashi 1/3 of an inning. Jepson 1. Pinheiro giving up 4 earned runs on 6 hits. Striking out 4. Walking 3. Toward the mound. Knocks it down. Picks it up and fires to first. That'll end the inning. So we head to the bottom of the 9th inning. The Angels down by 2 runs. They've got Asturis, Ibar, and Abreu to face Mariano. Down by 2. The Angels down 5-3. You're taking a look at Mariano Rivera, who last night came on and had a 1-pitch save, just the 2nd time out of 574 saves in his career. 2nd time he's had a 1-pitch save.
Well, amazing what he's been able to do. Basically with 1 pitch, a fastball, 89-94. He cuts that fastball, an occasional slider, but most times he's going to go fastball after fastball right at you, and he's always going to throw strikes.
He'll be facing the top of the order. Meister Asturis, Eric Ibar, Bobby Abreu. The Angels trying to get something going. Ibar faced Mariano last night. That 1-pitch save. Ended up popping up. Doing so with a man at first base. Java Chamberlain went 2 innings for New York. Struck out a man, walked a man, gave up 2 hits but no runs. Dave Robertson went 1 inning. Walked 2, struck out 1, and allowed no runs. Bartolo Colon is the pitcher of record, looking for his 4th win of the year. He went 5 1/3, giving up 3 earned, 6 hits, including a home run. Meiser this afternoon 1 for 3, had a double with a run scored in the 5th inning. Three tight games. Angels winning Friday 3-2. Yankees winning last night by the same score. Yankees winning this one 5-3. Meister takes inside. It's 1 ball, no strikes. Yankees will be in town again in September, 9th through the 11th. So 2 visits to Southern California for New York. The Angels go to New York in August. Meister flips one out to shallow left field. That's going to fall in for a base hit. Talk about a top spin lob. And as shallow as Brett Gardner plays in left field, that's all you can do to try to get a base hit there.
Boy, I'll tell you what, in that cut fastball in, you just got to try to keep your hands as quiet as possible. If you try to turn it, he shatters the bat. Stayed right with it, somehow fought it off, I guess just well enough to be able to hit it into the outfield for a base hit. Now you got the tying run at the plate.
Eric 0 for 3 in his career against Mariano. Drops the bunt up the third base line and rolls foul. No balls and a strike. Ibar 1 for 4 today. Had an RBI single in the 5th inning.
Playing in is to take away that bunt from Eric Ibar. Still the ability to be able to slap it by him for a base hit to make a first and second.
He's taking aim that way.
What you see him is the pitch was being approached because he's used to that cut fastball in. He was stepping back and is trying to punch that by A-Rod at third base. See him moving back, staying back and trying to slice it by A-Rod, who had been playing in, protected against that bunt.
Meister, pretty good lead over at first. His run doesn't really matter right now. Down by 2. Cervelli set up inside. Ibar bounces it foul off his body. And over the years, because of that cut fastball, we've grown accustomed to seeing so often now. More defensive swings than guys coming out of their shoes taking big hacks against Mariano.
And the amazing thing is many cut fastballs he throws in on lefties has not hit a batter this year. He has struggled, though, in his career against the Halos, an ERA almost at 3.5.
Maybe David Ortiz comes out of his shoes a little bit against Mariano. Another 0-2. Upstairs, 1 ball, 2 strikes. It starts with a leadoff bloop single to shallow left. He's over at first base. Bobby Abreu on deck. Count remains at 1 ball, 2 strikes. The Yankees with a run in the 2nd and 3rd inning. Solo runs. Halos tied it up with 2 in the bottom of the 3rd. And Mark Teixeira with a 2-run home run. Made it 4-2 at the top of the 5th inning. Angels got one of those back in the bottom of the 5th. Down 4-3. Swisher made it 5-3 with his home run in the 8th. It's where we stand right now here in the 9th. Ibar goes down swinging for the first out.
Boy, went upstairs twice during that course of that at bat against Eric Ibar. Rivera did, and this time get Ibar to swing and miss at that one. He had his one shot, that foul ball right down the third base line, in which he stepped out of the batter's box to be able to slap that ball by A-Rod. But it went foul.
Bobby this afternoon, 1 for 2. Had a base hit in the 7th. Takes a strike. The Braves also drawn 2 walks. The intentional one in the 3rd inning. Earned one in the fifth. Lines one over the head of Cano to right center field. There's a base hitter. Sturris rounding second. He'll head to third. And the Angels have runners at first and third with one out. Torrey Hunter coming to the plate. Second hit of the game for Bobby.
This is what you want, an opportunity against Mariano Rivera, one of the best, if not the best, big-time pitchers the game has ever seen. But now first and third, and Torrey Hunter up 3 for 10 in his career.
It's all or nothing for Torrey. 3 for 10, 7 strikeouts.
So if he makes contact, good things are going to happen. Another one of those cutters that are up in the strike zone and hits it in that jet stream out the right center field for a 3-run walk-off piece.
Torrey 0 for 4. 2 ground outs, 2 fly ball outs. Takes a strike.
A lot of times after that cut fastball away, he'll throw that cutter in on a right-handed batter.
Throw over. Bobby anticipating that throw over. No balls and a strike, 1 out. There's Sturris over at third, Abreu over at first. Cervelli sent up inside. Here comes the 0-1. Torrey chopping one to third. A-Rod to Cano, relay to first. The Yankees take the series, winning the finale 5-3.
Boy, that's what you want, an opportunity and a chance against Rivera, but unable to do so once again. Ground ball to third base, 5-4-3 double play. The Yankees using the power bat in this game along with last night's game to be able to win the series 2-1. 3 close games, but Bartolo Colon picks up the victory. Pinheiro unable to get his 100th victory once again.
Yankees win it 5-3. The final once again. They take the series. The Angels and Rays will battle it out first and 3 starting tomorrow night. For Mark Cooper and the entire crew here at the Big A, I'm Victor Rojas. We thank you for watching Angels baseball on My 13. Stick around as Angels Live is next.